Nice of you to tune in. I heard you could use a dose of so I'm here. Hi tribe, thank you for tuning in to Unboxing Dose of So today I want to talk about why the hell it took me so long to get started when it came to creating Dose of and really just getting started in general and finding confidence in yourself. So stay tuned. So my journey with Dose of started maybe 6 years ago, I want to say. Maybe about 6 years ago, maybe 4 to 6 years ago. I remember saying to myself that I really wanted to put together this thing where people could purchase or people could really invest into it, and it was this amazing experience that they got to have. And it was before subscription boxes really took off. It was, before that there was something that can be delivered to your home every month or every week. It was definitely before we got into the space of self-care. Like, of course, self-care has always been important, but I feel like the conversation has really, really taken off recently. I remember, of course, being an event planner, I wanted to curate like an event in a box. And really what that meant was everything that you needed for your event, 10 people to 50 people, would be delivered to your door in this box. It would have materials for you to get inspiration. It would have like really great instructions and pictures. It would have all of your utensils, your plates and your napkins and everything that you needed. And I joined about a year ago, or I competed about a year ago in an accelerator here in Atlanta that's Black owned and Black led, and I presented them with 2 ideas. And I remember saying to myself, okay, both of these ideas are things that I believe that I can do. I have the passion for both of them, but I feel like one of them is just going to be better for me. And so I pitched both of those ideas, one being the event in a box and one being an intimate experience that you could purchase, basically. And they loved the event in a box. They said, oh, yeah, this is really cool. You have some competition out there. And I'm like, yeah, I know I have competition, but of course, when it comes to what can I do differently, I bring my experience, I bring my creativity, I bring my resources, I bring my knowledge of the industry to this event in a box idea. But this intimate experience was just something that I feel those judges could really, really understand. The judges are working women. They have started and sold a few businesses. They're currently working on their next series of businesses. And then they had the accelerator. And I remember one of them telling me, like, I could really see this as something that my husband would purchase for me, because I am not very good at taking time out for myself. And if he can purchase this for me to help me find that time and take the kids away so I could have a me day, yeah, I would totally invest in that. And that's just kind of the confirmation and the encouragement that I needed to really like sit down and push this idea forward and really like figure out what it was. And then I remember like, okay, putting all this stuff together, what does it look like? What does it do? Who likes it? Who's my target? Like, if I am creating something for myself, what the heck do I like? And I remember, I think it was like a Friday night, I was having like my self-care day, and, I had just got done, having a detox bath, and I was rinsing off, and I was just thinking about just like, what do I call this thing? What is this experience? Like, what is it? Like, it's an intimate experience we can all have. Like, what is it? So I just kind of let my mind wander while I was in the shower for a little bit. And then I just remember saying to myself, like, everybody should have this experience. Everybody should have this dose of like just And I just remember showering or being in the shower, and I was like, oh my God, that's it. Like, dose of ohm, like that is exactly what it is. Like, I don't want to, compete with whatever it is that you're doing. I don't even want to tell you what you should be doing. I just want you to find your dose of ohm amongst whatever your self-care ritual is. And I just remember like hurrying up, getting out of the shower, and like getting on my laptop and just really just writing out everything that came to my mind, just really, really thoroughly ideating on the idea. I remember researching to see if something like that name existed, if anyone had it. No one did. And when I, of course, went to go check the domain name, like no one had it. And I was like, okay, well, this is for me. Like, I just remember having all of these visions of what dose of ohm could be, and I was like, oh my God, like you're moving so fast, like God, it's too fast, like I can't keep up, like I'm trying to hurry up and get out the shower and like just put these ideas on paper. And I remember, just like finally being able to give it a name and like know what this experience was just made me feel so damn happy. And then like after that, I spent a few months just really, really developing what the idea was and like playing with different packaging and really researching like other similar ideas that were out there and just really researching what other people like to do when it came to their self-care. And then I remember, of course you kind of, as an entrepreneur, you're constantly like always battling the thought of, should I go back to corporate America? Should I get a regular job? Should I just stop this this lifestyle that can be so unstable sometimes? Should I just do something else? Should I invest my money in something else? And I remember like it was, I think, New Year's or going on New Year's Day, or maybe it was New Year's Eve or somewhere around there, and I had about $150. I was like, all right, I've been talking to someone who does like vacation. Everybody likes to travel. I'm more than certain that I could promote myself enough to like get people to sign up with me. And I was like, okay, so I opened up the vacation window and it said you have 15 minutes to like fill out the form or whatever. So I opened that up in one window, and then I opened up another window that was the packaging or the first packaging for Dose of Ohm. And I went to the packaging site for a Dose of Ohm and was like, okay, let me just kind of play with this a little bit. Let me just kind of see what's there, and then I'm going to come back to it. And so, like, before I knew it, like, the 15 minutes was up on the vacation window, and I had already purchased, like, the first set of Dose of Ohm boxes, and that was my decision right there. So it's just so funny, like, 6 years ago, I did not know where to start. Like, I just had this idea. I had this vision, I guess, and I had this thought that, you know what, I really want to create something that everyone can have. I don't want it to be horribly expensive. I do want it to be affordable, but I want it to be valuable as well. And I mean, living your life and life experiences, you think you see one thing, you think you know one thing, and then, of course, life kind of directs you in a different way. And so, like, what I thought was going to be an event in a box turned out to be an intimate experience that you yourself can have every month or whenever you decide to. And then that's kind of where Dose of Ohm came from. But why the fuck did it take me so long to get started? I can definitely admit now that it was partially fear and then partially, like, ignorance. A lot of the time, we are just not ready for the blessing when we want the blessing. Sometimes we have to allow life. Sometimes we have to allow experiences. Sometimes we have to allow resources and simply timing to just show itself and present itself before we can move forward. So, if you have an idea right now, if you've been sitting on an idea, like, appreciate the timing that it takes. Like, constantly work on it, constantly research, constantly talk to people about it, constantly get the idea out there. Because next thing you know, it's going to be your turn. And no, I feel like it's my turn or my turn is coming, but I'm like in the midst of my turn coming. So it's just like, yeah, like you really have to appreciate timing and what it does for you, for your ideas, for your experiences. But my goodness, like 6 years, like I try not to bog myself down with, oh my God, if I had started 6 years ago, I'd be so much further than I am right now. But if I had started 6 years ago, I probably wouldn't have gotten this far because the timing would have been completely off. People probably would not have been able to understand what I was trying to translate or communicate to them. People probably would have looked at me crazy like, oh, you're like a hippy dippy kind of girl. What is this own thing that you're talking about? But I just love like how now self-care and wellness and mental health is like getting the platform that it deserves. Like people look at you crazy when you say like I'm having a rough day, and they see your lifestyle and they're like, oh well, how could you be having a rough day when you have X, Y, and Z, you drive this kind of car, you live in that kind of house, you make this much money, you do this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, like no one knows what the other person is struggling with. You have no idea what happens behind closed doors. You have no idea what it takes for that person to be that person. So dose of and starting and being a part of lifestyles, like yeah, like just get started. Don't let fear stop you. Don't let doubters stop you. Don't let self-doubt stop you. Don't let anybody tell you that your dreams are unrealistic, because who are they to tell you? Like at one point in time we were using flip phones and now we have mini computers. At one point in time, like we were in horse-drawn buggies and now we're talking about flying cars and automated cars. Like that's crazy. So if you have an idea that you've been sitting on, keep working on it. Keep paying attention to what the conversations are and release it, launch it, like let it out there, let people know about it. So yeah, Dose of is a 6-year-old idea that finally had its time coming. And, again, I'm just enjoying the journey and continuing to grow it and continuing to meet people and continuing to unbox it. So, yes, thank you for tuning in and listening to me just kind of like taking a small trip down memory lane, because I just remember not knowing what this was, but I could see this damn box. I could see the box. I could see it, but it was so blurry, and now it's like completely clear, and now it's like, okay, now we have the steps starting to formulate. Now we have the direction. Now we have like the idea is now reality. So I hope that for you, whatever ideas that you have, whatever concepts, whatever products, whatever dream that you have, it'll be a reality. All you have to do is keep working on it, keep, praying on it, keep meditating on it, and release it out there. Like, don't let anybody tell you that you can't. So, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, Dose of channel on YouTube. And of course, if you find yourself on social media at Dose of I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. And then of course, subscribe to the newsletter and become a member by going to doseofom.com. Peace, love, light. I am heading to the bed, about to find this but in case you need it, of course you already know. Release, relax, be grateful. Dose of talk to you soon.